Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Smart Study with Mam Manti. So students, today I will discuss about social science of class 10. So students, you already know that social science is a subject that have four parts, or you can say social science comprises of four books. First one is political science, second one is economics, third one is history, and fourth one is geography. So first, social science has four books. One is political science, second is economics, third is history, and fourth is geography. And it is not possible to discuss everything in one video. So today I have chosen to discuss about the first part of the subject, that is political science. So in political science, the first chapter is about Indian democracy. And in this chapter, what you have to study? First, you have to find out that if you point out what you have to study in the whole chapter, it will be better to understand, it will be better to remember also. Therefore, I have also divided the whole chapter into small parts. So the first chapter, first you have to study about making of the constitution. So this is the short form of constitution. Whenever you make the note, you can write like that way, but in your exam, you have to write the full word. Okay. Second, ideals, or you can say principles of constitution. Third, you have to study federal features of Indian political system. And the last one is Indian parliamentary democracy. So this whole point you have to cover up in the first chapter, and it is not possible for me also to discuss all the 4 points in one video elaborately. That's why I will discuss one by one, and today let's start with the first point, making of the constitution. So making of the constitution means how is our constitution formed? हम कैसे constitution को बनाया? So dear students, you know that our country was under British rule for a long period. Nearly about 200 years, the British ruled us. And after that, we got our independence. So we got our independence on 15 August 1947. Before the British ruled us. So whenever we get freedom from the British rule, we decided to adopt a democratic form of government, or you can say democracy. So after independence, we choose democracy. Why? क्यों हमने चूज किया? So already we know how brutally British tortured us. We have seen that the rule of imperialism, the colonialism is not good. Even in some cases, monarchy is also not good. So, India or Indian people experienced the rule of monarchy before the arrival of British, and after monarchy, when British captured India, we experienced how badly the colonialism tortured the people. So, after independence, the leaders of our country decided to have a best form of government that can satisfy, that can fulfill the needs of all the people of India. The leaders decided, the leaders thought that we have to form such a government to run our country so that every citizen, every people of India enjoy rights, freedom and justice. Therefore, we have adopted democracy because democracy is the best form of government in the world. And as we choose democracy, we need a constitution. So as we choose democracy, we need a constitution. Because if we want to make democracy successful, we need some solid, good rules and regulations. So a written, a drafted constitution is very much important for the successful implementation or successful वर्किंग ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी. सो डेमोक्रेसी को सक्सेस करने के लिए हमें क्या चाहिए? एक अच्छा संविधान चाहिए. सो हियर लाइज द इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन. यहाँ पर हमको एक संविधान का नीड समझ में आया. Though we got independence in 1947, but the idea of having a constitution was started before independence. So we got independence in 1947, but the idea of having a constitution arose in 1945. So before independence, the thinking to make or the thinking to have a constitution already started. And the thinking started in England when in 1945 Labour Party came to power. So in 1945 there was a election in England, and in that election the Labour Party win and form the government. And from that time the government decided to give India independence. So the Labour Party, after coming to power, decided to free India. And when the decision was taken to free the India, the thinking about to have a constitution was generated or started. And therefore, the Labour Party sent cabinet mission in 1946, sent cabinet mission in 1946 to India. So when the cabinet mission was sent to India, it was in 1946. Why? Why the Labour Party sent cabinet mission? So the purpose was to take all the necessary steps to make or to develop a constitution in India. So purpose क्या था? To create a conducive environment and take necessary steps to make constitution. समझ में आया? कैबिनेट मिशन का पर्पस क्या था कि हमें इंडिया में जाके ऐसा एनवायरनमेंट बनाना है, ऐसा मतलब हर वो चीज करना है जिसके जरिए हम एक संविधान बना पाए. एंड ये कैबिनेट मिशन, in this cabinet mission there was 3 cabinet ministers. Okay, after that means after coming to India, the cabinet mission started its work, and in 1946 a constituent assembly was formed. So constituent assembly means a place where we gather. So constituent assembly means a group of members, leaders gathering in one platform to make the constitution. So constituent assembly क्या है? एक प्लेटफॉर्म है, एक जगह है जहां पर सारे लीडर्स, मेंबर्स गैदर टुगेदर, एक साथ हुआ संविधान बनाने के लिए. सो इन दिस असेंबली the members discussed how to make constitution, what principles, what should be included in the constitution. And the first meeting was held on 9th December 1946. सो कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली का पहला बैठक कब हुआ? 1946, 9 December. So in this meeting, Dr. Sachibananda Sinha presided over the meeting. So in every meeting, you will get a president who presided over the whole meeting or conference. So here Dr. Sachibananda Sinha presided over the meeting, that means the first meeting. And in this meeting, Dr. Rajendra Prasad was elected as the permanent president of the assembly. So this is very important question for 1 mark. Who was the president of constituent assembly? Who was the first president of constituent assembly? So it will be Dr. Rajendra Prasad. This was the first. He presided over. He means Dr. Sachibananda Sinha presided the first meeting. Okay. And there was total 11 meetings of the constituent assembly. So after that, that means after discussing the members in the constituent assembly decided to form drafting committee. The member in the constituent assembly was more than the drafting committee, and the constituent assembly gave all the responsibility to make a draft, to make a rough of the constitution to drafting committee. So drafting committee को पूरा responsibility दिया गया एक ड्राफ्ट संविधान बनाने के लिए. You can say एक rough. Okay. So the so the drafting committee, they made or prepared a draft constitution and submitted to or handed over to the constituent assembly. So So this drafting committee has 7 members, which was drafting committee was formed on 29 August 1947 and it had 7 members. And Dr. B.R. Ambedkar was the chairman of this committee. So where you will get short question, and the most important short question from this portion is, who was the chairman of the drafting committee? So Dr. B.R. Ambedkar was the chairman of drafting committee. Then it may also come when the drafting committee was formed or established, how many members was there. So these are less important, but the most important is who was the chairman of drafting committee. So this drafting committee took nearly 3 years to prepare the constitution. So after preparing the constitution, drafting committee handed over the constitution to Dr. Rajendra Prasad. And on that day, Dr. Rajendra Prasad puts his signature on the constitution, and when he gave the signature, we got our constitution. So on 26 November 1949, drafting committee gave the constitution to Dr. Rajendra Prasad, and he put signature on that day. With his signature, we got our constitution. That means the formation of constitution was completed here. However, though the constitution was constituted on 26 November 1949, but due to some problems, it was implemented, or it was came into force on 26 January 1950. So the constitution came into force, or it was enacted or implemented. Okay. So here, that's why we observe 26 January as Republic Day. So every 26 January we celebrate or observe 26 January as Republic Day. So why? Because on that day our constitution came into force. Means from that day we started to follow the democratic system, the democratic rules, the constitution in the practical field. Practically we started to follow on that day. Okay. So From this portion you will get two important questions. One is, when was our constitution formed, and when was our constitution came into force. So when was formed? 26 November 1949, and came into force 26 January 1950. So students, here we completed the first point, the making or formation of the Indian Constitution. Hope you will understand the topic, and for more video you all comment how you like it, and for any topic related to your subject you can ask me to make video or to discuss in video. So thank you student for supporting me. Please, who are new in the channel, subscribe and like and comment also.